Good morning, YouTube. It has been a hot minute. I have been probably busier the last 8 months, 9 months than I have been in many, many years. It has been a pretty wild time, been a pretty crazy couple of months. It's been a lot going on. I will get into all that stuff, where I've been, what's been going on, why I've got a mustache. At the end of the video, I'm going to kind of do a shop update. Some new products I've got, new tools I want to show off, working with some new manufacturers, got some cool stuff to show. Gonna share a log trailer update. Had a pretty sad end to that story, end of an era with the log trailer. So I will be gonna show that as well. So stick around at the end, kind of share some life updates and shop forecasting. Got some new products and tools. Let's get into it. All right, new tool updates. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen this. This is the Track Tubes Project DIY router sled. This is the new product for them. It's been out for a few months now. I've had it for a few months. I've been kind of messing with it, tinkering around with it, getting it dialed in. And as far as router planing goes, as far as setups go, this thing is awesome. I could not ask for anything better than what this is. It uses the track tubes, which are an aluminum extrusion, kind of a replacement. You can do a lot of things with them. I would follow track tubes on Instagram. You can see all the different stuff people do with them. They make miter fences. These can be used as stretchers and sawhorses and all that stuff. The sled itself is pretty slick. It works in conjunction with the track tubes, and have it partnered with the big Triton router. It's 3 1/4 horsepower, I think. It's a monster. I've got a 2.5 inch flattening bit in there. I can now do slabs like 54 inches wide. The track tubes are 12 feet long. So my table's not quite set up for it yet, but I have a lot of capacity in here. So look for some bigger videos with that, more in-depth, detail-y things about it. I actually kind of enjoy router planing. Between the big bit, the big motor, and the slick sled, it just works really quickly. I've got this slab kind of started out, and it just works really well. So I'm enjoying that process again. Got this slab really close to being flat. It's gonna be this is a maple slab, and that is a maple slab, and they will be together to make a bar top. So, next product, this is an MFT table. You can see it under all the junk I've piled up here. And picked this up last year. Immediately was not happy with the hinge for the track. It is garbage. It just has a lot of play, a lot of slop in it. Does not give you consistently accurate cuts. That's all I can say. Festool could have done better on this. The aftermarket has stepped up. There's a company called Dashboard. They have made a new hinge. They actually produce their own table that I think is pretty superior in quality and build quality, and they graciously sent me a hinge. We worked out some details there, and I've got it set up. I've got it on there, had it on there before. I had some other stuff kind of take over my table, but I will be showing that in a longer video as well. I'm really happy with that product. It is a huge upgrade to the Festool products they have. So out in the driveway, log yard, whatever you want to call it, not much has been subtracted. I still have these 2 giant ass sycamore logs in my driveway that I will be milling this fall. I am finally to a point where I have time. This is the current status of the old log trailer. Longtime viewers will remember this was actually Matt Cremona's log trailer. It's been seen all over YouTube, all over the internet. I bought this in 2020, and it was in rough shape when I got it. It was pretty crusty. It was a homemade trailer back from the mid-90s or something, and it's had a hard life. It hauled a skid steer, I think, before Matt got it. He hauled a lot of heavy logs with it. I've hauled heavier logs with it, and its time has come. This is a 14-foot long walnut log. It is 41 inches across on the butt end, down to about 3 feet on the small end. Estimated weight about 6,500 pounds, and as you can see, I have
broken an axle tube. It just rusted all the way out. You can see how the general state of this thing, just Midwest, salt, corrosion, time, has not lent it any favors.
Now, I'm just going to cover this quickly. What hurt this was my own doing. It's not very often I get a log this big, especially a walnut this big, this straight. This is a 10 out of 10 log for me. This does not happen very often. This is a maybe not once in a lifetime log, but it is a very, very odd occurrence. This trailer, the deck is about 10 feet, which is, for most things, is more than plenty. For practical purposes, for furniture, there's no need to go over that long. There's no one, people don't have living rooms that big, dining rooms that big. So by getting a 14 foot on here, I'm going to keep it as long as I can, but you can see the problem. The heavy end is hanging off significantly. What that meant was the midpoint of the log was over completely on the rear axle. This would have happened had this thing not been so crusty. It would have caused problems anyway. This trailer, when I bought it, had problems with tongue weight, where the axles were too far forward. There was not enough weight on the tongue, on the truck. It would routinely, if I had a heavy log where it was back weighted, where the weight towards the back of the trailer, it would raise the back of the truck up. That was a well-known thing. Matt documented that as well. It just the way this thing was made, the axles are too far forward. If you don't know the ratio of where it should go, that's the problems it causes. So why did I get this thing? Because it's a 14-foot walnut log. This tree was about 8 blocks from my house. As you can hear all the traffic, I live in the middle of town, and this thing was in town. It was very close. The tree service was taking it down. They said, hey, come and get it. And I went and got it. I knew this was not the best thing to do. I knew my trailer was on borrowed time. I didn't feel like it was a public safety thing. I'm not going to hurt anybody else on the road intentionally, but it was, to me, it was worth the risk. I was going at slow speeds, and I basically just made a turn. All the weight was on this one wheel, and it just popped off. I was on a side road. Nothing was hurt. Nothing was damaged. I was able to limp this home as it is on 3 wheels. Got it in my driveway, got it turned around, did all that. So basically I traded a big giant walnut log for an old crusty trailer. That is kind of the trade-off I made. I think I put a poll on Instagram and asked, the viewership if they would do the same thing, and it was a resounding yes. You can find more trailers, you cannot find more big logs. So that's what it is. I'm filming this today because that is my new to me trailer. I'll go up there in a second. I'm gonna get the old trailer onto the new one today. My neighbor's got his backhoe. We're gonna flip this thing over and get it on the trailer so I can haul it out to scrap. I'm gonna drag the log off. I'm gonna tie it to another one, and we will get that off there. So I'm kind of filming in a hurry. Got to do some jockeying around, and that's that. So it has been a very good trailer for me. It was a good trailer for Matt. Made some good partnerships and connections, and that salvaged a lot of trees. It did its work. This sad little trailer did a lot of work in its life and proved a lot of theories, and it owes me nothing. It's done a lot of work for me. I paid $400 for it, I think, when I bought it, and I'll probably get that back out of it in scrap value. So it is what it is. I put new tires on it. I'm gonna take those off and sell those, do whatever with them. But yeah, this is the big log, giant walnut log. Got a J-bolt and a cable tie in there. I'm gonna try and dig those out. This is the new trailer. I have a couple deck boards to replace, but it is a 18-foot SureTrack tilt deck. The entire deck tilts. This is a new kind of theory and log haul for me. So the idea being, I'm going to mount a winch there and just drag them up the whole way. This is a 14K trailer, so 14,000 pound capacity. After the weight of the trailer, I can get about 11,000 pounds on the deck. So this is quite a significant upgrade. This is the opposite end of the spectrum compared to that trailer. So I'm gonna go into this in more depth, but right now I just gotta do some jockeying around, and yeah, we'll get into it. Put one log trailer on another. All right, so that's kind of new things, current things, new tools, new trailers, old trailers, all that fun stuff. And yeah, there's a lot of good potential coming. I'm excited about the fall. I'm blocking off the time to do it. I'm doing no other projects until I have those 3 logs milled in my driveway. It has been far too long. I'm not worried about the 2 sycamore logs being bad. They're dry. They've been sitting on dry pavement for however long, so I'm not worried about those. Yeah, I'm a little sad about the trailer, but I needed to upgrade that for a long time. It has been something that's been on the back burner, and it was one of those projects or one of those purchases that I'll make it when I have to. I'm not gonna try and find something different until I absolutely have a need. Well, I do now, so that's where I'm at. Where have I been? What in the hell's been going on? I looked at one of my last videos, last shop update, it was 10 months ago, and I had just had surgery on my foot and was kind of down on myself, down on life, not feeling it too well, and yeah, I made it through all that, made it out the other side. I'm walking fine, no problems there. What happened was basically as soon as I was fully healed, I got a new job. Where I'm now working at the local university, repairing furniture in dorm rooms. It is it's a dream job for a guy like me. It is, working at the university is great. It's a great system. All the what I'm doing, all the work, all the benefits, all that, it's all just top notch. So it has been probably not exaggerating, it's been a life-changing experience getting that job. So I've been doing that. I work in all the dorms, so I'm now, for the rest of my working career, will be on the school schedule. So the summers are kind of busy, getting all the dorms ready for kids coming back. The summer is the busy time. So the fall, winter, spring, that's when I have a little more free time for myself. In the middle of that, also, in addition to starting a new job, I got married. So Megan, my wife, and I, we got married in June, I promise you. Had a great time, and we immediately took our honeymoon. We went up to the Banff area of Alberta, Canada, and hiked around for a week, saw amazing scenery, saw some wildlife, ate some great food, did a lot of great hiking. Cannot recommend that enough. It is, if you're in the Midwest, really no matter where you're at, I would highly recommend going to Banff in your lifetime. It is incredibly accessible. It was a 3-hour flight from Chicago, an hour drive from the airport to where we stayed, and you will never see anything like it. It's incredible. So you search on YouTube for the Banff tourist spots, Banff destinations, and you'll get a million of them because it is just a beautiful place. It's the Canadian Rockies. It's just outstanding. I would go back in a second, and I think we will go back. So there's that. It is now the end of summer. I'm right in the middle of the move-in season. All the students are back. They're all moving in and getting unpacked and finding all the things that they need. So I'm coming to the tail end of that, and basically my goal for the rest of this year is to mill 3 logs in my driveway and get my log trailer sorted out. So I have no reason to think I wouldn't be more consistent about getting videos back up. I feel like the broken record, always apologizing for not posting more, but I have the intentions. I don't always have the time. And when it comes, there's house problems come up or other family issues or something, and YouTube takes the back seat. So I am on a more consistent path where there will be no more work travel. When I worked at my other company, we had to travel a lot, and a lot of times it's unexpected. We would maybe get a month's notice, 2 weeks notice. If there was repairs or something, I had to go on a day's notice. So it was very inconsistent. It was very hard to plan things, where with my current job, it will be the same every year for the rest of time. So there is that. It's all a good thing. It's been a good year. Last year, the second half of last year was not so good, but it started off, 23 started off right. Got a new job, got a new wife. Life is good. So, got a new log trailer too. But don't tell the wife that. So that's what I got. I will be getting more in depth into the tools and things as time and progress allows, and sharing a lot of stuff. The slab flattener and the dashboard track hinge, really cool products. Really excited to show those. So if you want to have any questions about those, drop those down below, and I can get into specifics about them, when I'm shooting my video. So let me know. Anything else, you can always get me on Instagram at Secondlifedesign, and we'll see you in a bit.